Hi, I'm Shawnte Kinney, and today we are going to be reading from 2 Kings 13 through 15. We're going to try some of these names. All right. In the 23rd year of Joaz, son of Hazad, king of Judah, Jehoshaphat, son of Judah, became king of Israel in Samaria, and he reigned 17 years. He did evil in the eyes of the Lord by following the sins of Jeroboam, son of Nebat, which he had caused Israelite to commit, and he did not turn away from them. So the Lord's anger burned against Israel, and for a long time he kept them under the power of Hazael, king of Aram, and Ben-Hadad, his son. Then Jehoshaphat sought the Lord's favor, and the Lord listened to him, for he saw how severely the king of Aram was oppressing Israel. The Lord provided a deliverer for Israel, and they escaped from the power of Aram. So the Israelites lived in their own homes as they had before, but they did not turn away from the sins of the house of Jeroboam, which he had caused Israel to commit. They continued in them. Also, the Asher pole remained standing in Samaria. Nothing had been left out of the army of Joahaz except 50 horsemen, 10 chariots, and 10,000 foot soldiers. For the king of Aram had destroyed the rest and made them like the dust at threshing time. As for the other events of the reign of Joahaz, all he did and his achievements, are they not written in the book of the annals of the king of Israel? Joahaz rested with his ancestors and was buried in Samaria, and Joash, his son, succeeded him as king. In the 37th year of Joaz, king of Judah, Joash, son of Joahaz, became king of Israel in Samaria, and he reigned 16 years. He did evil in the eyes of the Lord and did not turn away from any of the sins of Jeroboam, son of Nebat, which he had caused Israel to commit. He continued in them. And for the other events of the reign of Joahaz, all he did and his achievements, including his war against Amaziah, king of Judah, are they not written in the book of the annals of the kings of Israel? Joash rested with his ancestors, and Jeroboam succeeded him on the throne. Joash was buried in Samaria with the kings of Israel. Y'all are real lucky y'all don't have to read all of these names. Now Elijah has been suffering from the illness from which he died. Joash, king of Israel, went down to see him and wept over him. my father, he cried, the chariots and horsemen of Israel." Elisha said, "Get a bow and some arrows," and he did so. "Take the bow in your hand," he said to the king of Israel. When he had taken it, Elisha put his hands on the king's hand. "Open the east window," he said, and he opened it. "Shoot," Elijah said, and he shot. The Lord's arrow of victory, the arrow of victory over Aram. Elisha declared, "You will completely destroy the Arameans at Apec." Then he said, "Take the arrows," and the king took them. Elisha told him, "Strike the ground." He struck it 3 times and stopped. The man of God was angry with him and said, "You should have struck the ground 5 or 6 times. Then you would have defeated Aram and completely destroyed it. But now you will defeat it only 3 times. Elisha died and was buried. Now Moabite riders used to enter the country every spring. Once, while some Israelites were burying a man, suddenly they saw a band of raiders. So they threw the man's body in Elisha's tomb. When the body touched Elisha's bones, the man came to life and stood up on his feet. Hazael, king of Aram, oppressed Israel throughout the reign of Jehoshaphat. But the Lord was gracious to them and had compassion and showed concern for them because of his covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. To this day, he has been unwilling to destroy them or banish them from his presence. Hazael, king of Aram, died, and Ben-Hadad, his son, succeeded him as king. Then Joash, son of Jehoshaphat, recaptured from Ben-Hadad, son of Hazael, the towns he had taken in battle from his father Jehoshaphat. 3 times Joash defeated him, and so he recovered the Israelite towns. 16. In the 2nd year of Joash, son of Jehoshaphat, king of Israel, Amaziah, son of Joash, king of Judah, began to reign. He was 25 years old when he became king, and he reigned in Jerusalem 29 years. His mother's name was Jehohaddam. She was from Jerusalem. He did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, but not as his father David had done. In everything he followed the example of his father Joash. The high places, however, were not removed. The people continued to offer sacrifices and burn incense there. After the kingdom was firmly in his grasp, he executed the officials who had murdered his father, the king. He did not put the children of the assassins to death in accordance with what was written in the book of the law of Moses, where the Lord commanded, "Parents are not to be put to death for their children, nor children to death for their parents. Each will die for their own sin." He was the one who defeated 10,000 Edomites in the Valley of Salt and captured Selah in battle, calling it Jokathel, the name it has to this day. Then Amaziah sent messengers to Joash, son of Jehoshaphat, the son of Jehu, king of Israel, with the challenge, "Come, let us face each other in battle." But Joash, king of Israel, replied to Amaziah, king of Judah. A thistle in Lebanon sent a message to a cedar in Lebanon, "Give your daughter to my son in marriage." Then a wild beast in Lebanon came along and trampled the thistle underfoot. "You have indeed defeated Edom, and now you are arrogant. Glory in your victory, but stay at home. Why ask for trouble and cause your own downfall and that of Judah also?" Amaziah, however, would not listen. So Joash, king of Israel, attacked. He and Amaziah, king of Judah, faced each other at Beth Shemesh in Judah. Judah was routed by Israel, and every man fled to his home. Joash, king of Israel, captured Amaziah, king of Judah, the son of Joash, the son of Isaiah, at Beth Shemesh. Then Joash went to Jerusalem and broke down the wall of Jerusalem from the Ephraim gate to the corner gate, a section about 400 cubits long. He took all the gold and silver and all the articles from in the temple of the Lord and in the treasuries of the royal palace. He also took hostages and returned to Samaria. As for the other events of the reign of Joash, what he did and his achievements, including his war against Amaziah, king of Judah, are they not written in the book of the annals of the kings of Israel? Joash rested with his ancestors and was buried in Samaria with the kings of Israel. And Jeroboam, his son, succeeded him as king. Amaziah, son of Joash, king of Judah, lived for 15 years after the death of Joash, son of Jehoshaphat, king of Israel. As for the other events of Amaziah's reign, are they not written in the book of the annals of the king of Judah? They conspired against him in Jerusalem and fled to Lachish. But they sent men after him to Lachish and killed him there. He was brought back by horse and was buried in Jerusalem with his ancestors in the city of David. Then all the people of Judah took Azar, who was 16 years old, and made him king in place of his father Amaziah. He was the one who rebuilt El and restored it to Judah after Amaziah rested with his ancestors. In the 15th year of Amaziah, son of Joash, king of Judah, Jeroboam, son of Joash, king of Israel, became king in Samaria, and he reigned 41 years. He did evil in the eyes of the Lord and did not turn away from any of the sins of Jeroboam, son of Nebat, which had caused Israel to commit. He was the one who restored the boundaries of Israel from Lebo Hamath to the Dead Sea, in accordance with the word of the Lord God of Israel, spoken through his servant Jonah, son of Amittai, the prophet from Gath Hepher. The Lord had seen how bitterly everyone in Israel, whether slave or free, was suffering. There was no one to help them. And since the Lord had not said he would blot out the name of Israel from under heaven, he saved them by the hand of Jeroboam, son of Joash. As for the other events of Jeroboam's reign, all he did and his military achievements, including how he recovered from Israel both Damascus and Hamath, which had belonged to Judah, are they not written in the book of the annals of the king of Israel? Jeroboam rested with his ancestors, the kings of Israel, and Zechariah, his son, succeeded him as king. At 15, in the 25th year of Jeroboam, king of Israel, Azariah, son of Amaziah, king of Judah, began to reign. He was 16 years old when he became king, and he reigned in Jerusalem 52 years. His mother's name was Jechaliah. She was from Jerusalem. He did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, just as his father, Amaziah, had done. The high places, however, were not removed. The people continued to offer sacrifices and burn incense there. The Lord afflicted the king with leprosy until the day he died, and he lived in a separate house. Jotham, the king's son, had charge of the palace and governed the people of the land. As for the other events of Azariah's reign and all he did, are they not written in the book of the annals of the kings of Judah? Azariah rested with his ancestors and was buried near them in the city of David, and Jotham his son succeeded him as king. In the 38th year of Azariah, king of Judah, Zechariah son of Jeroboam became king of Israel in Samaria, and he reigned 6 months. He did evil in the eyes of the Lord, as his predecessors had done. He did not turn away from the sins of Jeroboam, son of Nebat, which he had caused Israel to commit. Shallum, son of Jabez, conspired against Zechariah. He attacked him in front of the people, assassinated him, and succeeded him as king. The other events of Zechariah's reign are written in the book of the annals of the king of Israel. So the word of the Lord spoken to Jehu was fulfilled. Your descendants will sit on the throne of Israel to the 4th generation. Shallum, son of Jabez, became king in the 39th year of Uriah, king of Judah, and he reigned in Samaria 1 month. Then Benjamin, son of Gadi, went from Tezeroth up to Samaria. He attacked Shallum, son of Jabez, in Samaria, assassinated him, and succeeded him as king. The other events of Shallum's reign and the conspiracy he led are written in the book of the annals of the king of Israel. At that time, Benjamin, starting out from Tezeroth, attacked Tifsah and everyone in the city and its vicinity, and because they refused to open their gate. He sacked Tipsah and ripped them open at the pregnant women. Jesus. In the 39th year of Azariah, king of Judah, Menhem, son of Gadda, became king of Israel, and he reigned in Samaria 10 years. He did evil in the eyes of the Lord. During his entire reign, he did not turn away from the sins of Jeroboam, son of Nebat, which he caused Israel to commit. Then Pul, king of Assyria, invaded the land, and Menahem gave him 1,000 talents of silver to gain his support and strengthen his own hold on the kingdom. Menahem exacted his money from Israel. Every wealthy person had to contribute 50 shekels of silver to be given to the king of Assyria. So the king of Assyria withdrew and stayed in the land no longer. As for the other events of Menahem's reign and all he did, are they not written in the book of the annals of the king of Israel? Menahem rested with his ancestors, and Pekah, his son, succeeded him as king. In the 50th year of Azariah, king of Judah, Pekah, son of Menahem, became king of Israel in Samaria, and he reigned 2 years. Pekah did evil in the eyes of the Lord, and he did not turn away from the sins of Jeroboam, son of Nebat, which he had caused Israel to commit. One of his chief officers, Pekah, son of Remaliah, conspired against him. Taking 50 men of Gilead with him, he assassinated Pekah along with Argob and Arah in the citadel of the royal palace of Samaria. So Pekah killed Peshkah and succeeded him as king. Lord, help us in these names. The other events of Pekah's reign and all he did are written in the book of the annals of the king of Israel. In the 52nd year of Azariah, king of Judah, Pekah, son of Remlah, became king of Israel in Samaria, and he reigned 20 years. He did evil in the eyes of the Lord. He did not turn away from the sins of Jeroboam, son of Nebat, which he had caused Israel to commit. In the time of Pekah, king of Israel, Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria, came and took Ijon, Abel, Beth, Micaiah, Jonah, Kadesh, and Hazar. He took Gilead and Galilee, including all of the land of Naphtali, and deported the people to Assyria. Then Hosea, son of Elah, conspired against Pekah, son of Remaliah. He attacked and assassinated him, and then succeeded him as king in the 20th year of Jotham, son of Uzziah. As for the other events of Pekah's reign and all he did, are they not written in the book of the annals of the king of Israel? In the 2nd year of Pekah, son of Remlah, king of Israel, Jotham, son of Uzziah, king of Judah, began to reign. He was 25 years old when he became king, and he reigned in Jerusalem 16 years. His mother's name was Jesra, daughter of Zodak. He did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, just as his father Uzziah had done. The high places, however, were not removed. The people continued to offer sacrifices and burn incense there. Jotham rebuilt the upper gate of the temple of the Lord. And for the other acts of Jotham's reign and what he did, are they not written in the book of the annals of the kings of Judah? In those days, the Lord began to send Rezin, king of Aram, and Pekah, son of Remlah, against Judah. Jotham rested with his ancestors and was buried with them in the city of David, the city of his father, and Ahaz, his son, succeeded him as king. Y'all are lucky I made it through those names.
Hello and welcome to Fear into Faith Global Bible Revival, where it is our mission to get 1 million people to read the Bible cover to cover in a year. My name is Summer Day, and I am in the studio with Shawnte. It's Shawnte and Summer Day.
I
am so grateful for you being here.
I'm grateful to be here.
Thanks for saying yes to the call, saying yes to the Lord, saying yes to reading the Word.
That's my life. That's my life. There is nothing but a yes on my lips.
I love it.
So
and you're one of the people who showed up. I don't know anything about you, so I'm excited to learn all the things. So tell everybody just kind of who you are, what you do.
I am Shawnte, a native of Dallas. I'm born and raised here. I am a full-time civil litigation paralegal. I've been doing that since I was 19 years old. Tomorrow, I celebrate my 45th birthday. God is so good. I know. And she looking good. Don't even look like what I've been through.
That's what I'm saying.
I have also started Next Level magazine. It's a digital magazine, just inspiring women. I like sharing stories of amazing women and the things that they've done. It's basically just their testimonies about how God has transformed their lives and the wisdom that they learned through those transformative processes so that we can share with other women and help empower women as they go on this journey of life.
Come on. Good. And how long did you say you've been doing that?
We just launched the digital magazine in December, and I launched my television show on the Win-Win Women Network in April. It's been a whirlwind. It's been a whirlwind.
He doesn't have time anymore.
He doesn't, he don't give you time to catch up. It's get moving, get in the path and keep going.
So I feel like since COVID, it's like the world just went let's just turn it up 10 notches. So crazy. What's the name of your show?
It's Next Level Conversations, and it's NEXLEVEL. I don't need a T.
I don't need a T. We ain't got time for a T. And your magazine, share what's been a favorite story or thing that you've done in the magazine?
Oh, okay, that's good. Nobody's ever asked me that. I think yes, you are. I like that original, girl. One of my favorite stories was this girl named Levita. She's, I think she met her husband. She had decided to wait on the Lord and not get married. She had went through quite a few different relationships, and she finally decided that instead of trying to please men, she would start transforming herself to please the Lord, getting her relationship with God really together. And through that journey, she realized she really reconnected with herself and reconnected with God. Yeah. And God had made her promise that if she would do the work and she would connect with him and commit to him, he would send her who he had for her. So he sent her Boaz. And I was able to share her story because it was beautiful. They met during COVID and they got married, and I catch up with them very often. Just a beautiful couple, beautiful, God-loving, powerful couple, just going and sharing the word of God, and to see their growth and to see their life. It just gives you hope. It does. It gives you hope at a time when everybody says you can do whatever it is that you want. It's being obedient to the voice of God. And that's actually been one of my favorite stories thus far.
I love it. I love how you were saying, she was seeking after God, but found herself too.
I think that's a journey that we all go on. Yeah. And that's actually how I got here, actually to where I'm sitting at today. It started with at the end of 2015, I looked in the mirror. I woke up, I looked in the mirror, and I just didn't like the person that was looking back at me. And God really began to challenge me. My life was in what I call a chaos. There was no balance whatsoever. I was unhealthy mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. I was raised in church, but I had no real relationship. At that time, I actually was probably resenting God in the church because of the extreme disconnect. I was too far gone in every aspect of my life, and there was no balance. There was no internal happiness. There was no peace. And I looked around, and everybody around me was there was no balance in anybody's life. We all looked alike. And the work and the word was not being made alive in my life at that time.
Yeah.
And I had really been questioning God and questioning, why are we doing what we're doing? Why are you doing this? Because I was serving everything in the church that could be done, doing everything for years, my whole life. I was serving and I was giving, but there was no personal fulfillment, just to be honest. To be real honest. And that was a hard truth.
I just got to stop you really quick. I'm telling you, you're speaking to some hearts right now. You're speaking to some hearts right now. I think sometimes people get in that servant place. And I don't know what it was for you. Maybe they're not taking care of themselves or whatever, but they get in that servant place where it becomes that place of striving. So I think this is so beautiful that you're sharing this.
And even as I was talking with God about it, and now that I'm on the other side of it, I really hated that I looked at God like that. I looked at him as an enemy, not as the love that he actually had for me. So because serving, it was a bondage for me. It was a real bondage for me. And it was very hard to admit that. I couldn't have that conversation with people around me because all you're taught, I was raised in the church. I was raised Pentecostal. All you're taught is to give. Wow. But what happens when giving becomes a burden to the person that's giving, when the serving becomes a burden and you're no longer receiving, it's no longer about God. I didn't even realize that I was all about serving men in the name of God. Because everything that I was doing was, okay, we got to do this. It was all in the name of God. And I was just caught up in it, doing the thing that I knew to do and looking for results. I was looking for things to happen. I was looking for breakthroughs. I was looking for deliverance, but it wasn't coming. And so I started questioning God, questioning what I was doing, questioning my faith. And God took me on a journey to undo everything that I learned, undo everything that I was doing, and make it about me and him. Wow. And in doing that, I didn't realize that my identity had been lost for so long. Yeah. But in this journey, I found myself. The more I sought him, the more I found me. And now everything that I do is about helping other women break free from all of those bondages. I even saw marriage as a bondage. I saw family all of it was a bondage because it was about serving. And it sounds crazy, serving others, but not really serving God, just going through the motions of all of the stuff so that we can say that we've done something.
I'm telling you, you're speaking the truth for a lot of people that I think they get stuck in that rut. I can relate. I had times in my own journey in motherhood where I felt like, am I crazy? I'm resenting my kids today. But who can you tell that to?
Yeah.
Right? You can't tell anybody that, like, this is how I'm feeling. I'm feeling like I'm trapped here or whatever. And I love that you're so boldly speaking about those things and how it's like, no, I had to get right with God first. Because if you're not getting the fulfillment from on high, it's not going to penetrate into everything.
It's not.
Oh my goodness gracious. I am so excited that you are sharing. No one has talked about this. No one has talked about that almost like a, secret pain of those who are striving in servitude, but they're not being fulfilled. They're not getting what they want because they're missing that relationship. They're missing what you talked about, that woman who she had to seek after God to love herself. And if those steps are missing, the servitude can seem like striving. I've never heard anyone describe it that way. When we're talking about, I mentioned my own thing about being a mom and having those days, we have no one to tell.
Yes.
Who do you tell?
Well, what do you do?
You can check out the rest of this interview right here or by going to BibleRevival.tv. And if this show has blessed you, you can help us bless others by partnering with us for as little as $20 a month and help us to expand the reach of this show. We'd also like to invite you to join our Kingdom Discipleship Program, where you have an opportunity to get on weekly Bible Zoom calls with us and people around the world to deep dive into His Word. And you can check all that out at BibleRevival.tv. I'll see you next time, my friend.